Let's go. It's Monday morning. Time to get this party started. Time to get this show on the road. Time to get underway. For the sailors, we're going to get underway. It's time to go. Y'all ready to go? We're ready to go right now. All the songs are coming to my head. We're ready to go. It's time to get moving. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Time to go. Are y'all ready to go? Yes, it's Monday. We're ready to rock on, ready to rock and roll, ready to do our thing. Yeah, good morning, Ward. Your first one in this morning for sure. First thing in. All right. So it's Monday. Looks like there was a massive dip yesterday as usual. The dips are being bought up. We've had a lot of news happening over the weekend with this whole Israel-Iran thing. But, the dip has been bought. We're back above 6,000. We ended Friday with 59.76, but now we are back above 6,000. Oh, my necklace is caught up in my hair. That's what happens when I start moving stuff around while the show gets on. Why do that, right? Why even do that? Let me put this on the screen so we can see the chart while I'm talking, while everybody's coming in, while the platform is bringing all the people in. We can still see what's going on. But you can see we were, the 15th is today. But you can see from Friday, we were down here at 59.24. Whoop, dip, baby. We rose back up to 6,026, 6,024. That was all on Friday. We dipped back down over the overnight where we were into the futures. This is S&P 500. This is SPX 500, which you can see on TradingView because it shows us SPX when the market is closed. And we still went down as low as 59.43 again. Whoop, and that dip was bought right back up. And we're now at 6,016. Now, the nomenclature between SPX and ES has changed again over this weekend. Hey, TJ. Has changed again. So we'll talk about that when I get to Adam's numbers because there's a difference there. But we're at 6,016. So at this point, SPX is above 6,000 yet again. So we're about 40 points, looks like, above where we closed because we closed at 59.76 and we're currently at 6,016, which is about 40 points, right? Is that good math? Is that good math for my mathematicians among us? Is that good math? I think it is. Okay. So, there's that. This is what the chart is showing us. This here, Merton. Okay. Let's start our show. Let's go ahead and get into it. See what we see. The VIX is at 1984, down 0.98 or down 4.71%. The VIX is down just a little bit. Means the market is rising up. Y'all see how that goes. We've been in the VIX. I think on Friday it was like right above 20. Now we're at 1984. VIX is kind of hovering around this spot. Good morning, my day. 1984 is where our VIX is. All about the dot plot. Look how Trump giving Jerome the side eye. Don't do him like that. Y'all see how he's looking at him? Listen, Jerome, this is the one man. This is probably what his problem is. Jerome is the one man, he can't move. You think you can control. Rome is not to be controlled. Jerome is like, I know what my job is. I'm staying in my lane. I'm doing the job I've been paid to do for decades. Don't come for me. I'm here to do what I'm trying to do. Okay. It says oil erases the game with Iran-Israel attacks sparing critical flows. So people were definitely all about the oil. Oil had made a huge pop on Thursday and Friday, definitely Friday, but I think it's lost a lot of those gains over the weekend. Hey, Tiffany, it's lost a lot of those gains. U.S. stock futures rise as Israel-Iran nerves ease. Everybody kind of cooling off a bit. EU set to accept the flat 10% U.S. tariff with conditions. U.S. pharma bets big on China in the hunt for blockbuster drugs. Wall Street doesn't see Fed rate cuts coming anytime soon. Meta investors cheer as Zuckerberg doubles down on AI commitment. I honestly don't see some of these big boys. They can't really get around the AI space. They have got to double down on where we are with AI. That's not something that can be avoided at this point. Any company that decides, or definitely the big boys who decide they're not going to ride with AI, is almost putting a nail in their own coffin. We can look back at companies that decided they weren't going to take the turn with some of the new technology. Come here, Kodak, but we're not going digital. Where they at though, right? Digital cameras came along. Kodak was like, we're not doing that. And where are they? Not here. Not around. Like not they are still here, but definitely not the same giant they were at the time. And that is definitely just one example. Blockbuster's another one who is definitely not here anymore because you weren't going to take that turn to go with a different type of movie delivery. You thought people was gonna keep walking into the shop to buy movies, and when we went to online movies and all the movies delivered digitally, you didn't want to take the turn. And what happened? If you don't turn with the technology, you're gonna be left at the curb, literally at the curb. Smaller amusement parks are hope for a strong summer under the shadow of tariffs. I don't know what amusement parks got to do with tariffs. Can somebody help me understand the link between that? Amusement parks and tariffs? I don't see the link there. Maybe all the stuff that they buy to have at the amusement park? I don't get it. Reddit unveils AI-driven ad tools to help brands tap into user discussions. Okay, there's that. All right, let's move on. CNBC. All the futures are green this morning. Stock futures rebound as oil falls. Investors bet Israel-Iran conflict will remain limited. Oil is red this morning because we're talking about it falling. U.S. 10-year bonds are green. Let's see what Europe has to do. All of it's green over in Europe. Hey, Janae. Hey, JRE. Good morning. Good morning. All the things green over in Europe. European markets rebound as Israel-Iran attacks continue. Renault is down 6%. U.S., everything's red, looks like over at the U.S., which we just showed pre-market was green. I don't get this. How is all this stuff red when the U.S. was green? Okay. Asia's all green. Asia Pacific markets rise as investors parse China data, assess Israel-Iran tensions. Crypto, everything in crypto is green. Bitcoin is at 106,000 and some change. Ethereum is up. Solana, Dogecoin, and XRP all green. Gold is red at 34.34. Silver is green. Copper, platinum, and palladium. Well, copper is red. Platinum and palladium are both green. Let's see what's on our calendar for today. G7 meetings start today. This is day one. This wasn't on our schedule yesterday when we talked about it last night, but G7 meetings are there. 8:30, we've got Empire State Manufacturing Index, which came and went. There's no actual there. Day two of G7 meetings is tomorrow. Core retail sales in the morning tomorrow at 8:30 before the market opens, right? That's going to be all tomorrow. The big thing, or the big thing happening this week, well, one of the big things, because there's more than one, is the FOMC stuff or the rate changes, whatever, cuts, changes, nothing, stands still either way. It's going to be Wednesday at 2 and 2:30. 2 and 2:30, that's going to happen on Wednesday, right? That's why we see Powell and Trump on the main news of, the week. That's happening on Wednesday. Thursday, the market is closed because of Juneteenth. Y'all go out and celebrate Juneteenth. Come on. Yeah. Do that on Thursday with the market closed. You don't have no excuse to stay in front of your computer. Go out, get some sunshine. Go get some sunshine. I'm going to be out and about that day. Maybe we'll find something to do on Thursday. And then Friday is quad witching, which is where futures will expire, stock bonds will expire, the weeklies, the monthlies will expire, of course the dailies will expire. Lots of things are going to expire on that same day, so lots of volatility will be anticipated. Ooh, the IV is going to be on 100, okay? There's going to be a lot happening on Friday, and then coming off of a bank holiday right after that, it's going to be a lot happening. So just know, All right, just know there'll be a lot going on Friday. You might consider, especially if you off on Thursday, just chill out on Friday too. Okay, I'm gonna have to contain myself, and if I trade on Friday, which I'm gonna try not to trade, but if I trade on Friday, it's gonna be very light because the last quad witching did not go my way. It did not go my way, and we have to learn from the past. You have to learn from the past. You got to use wisdom, Arlissa. You must use wisdom. Yes, I tell people all the time, use wisdom. Okay, so this is today. OPEC monthly report was this morning, 8:30, New York Empire State, 3-month bill auction, 6-month bill auction, and 20-year bond auction is all today. Okay. What earnings did we have this morning? Let's talk about that. Come on, I just had you up and running. Now you want to be not doing? Okay, I'm going to have to leave you here. If you slow down the show, then you got to be left behind. Okay, well, while that's deciding what it wants to do, I saw it doing something there a minute. While it's deciding what it wants to do, we might go to another screen. Yep. Okay, off to something else. We go on see what Adam's talking about on his screen. And while we're doing that, I'll see if that can get itself together. Adam Mancini is, hey, Tanya. Did I say hey, Tanya already? I think I did. Adam Mancini he trades the ES futures, and he's a buyer of options, not a seller of options, but he trades futures. So he doesn't even really do options. He does futures, which is a little bit different. But he puts his posts on Twitter, on X, and we use his numbers because he's very good with technical analysis as far as numbers go. We take and convert his numbers over to SPX because we trade SPX all day. When do we trade SPX? All day, every day. That's what we do. Yes. So we check out his tweets and his X's, I guess they're called. When they switched over to X, are the tweets now called X's? Y'all know? Do y'all know what the tweets are now called? Are they called X's? Anyway, last eve we gapped down, which meant one thing: failed breakdown incoming in SPX. It's all I trade. He said he only trades failed breakdowns. That's all he trades. I'm with it. Define. Good for you. Good for us. We love it. Posted. He says I posted. Come on, here we go. I posted it at 6:13 p.m. That 59.73 recovery triggers 59.85, 59.96, and 6,004 plus. All three hit, so hold your runners. My platform won't open today, though. I guess he made his money or his platform is not working right. Either way, we got some numbers that will work with the plan. 6,003, 59.96 are supports. They keep 6,023, 6,026 alive. 6,036 is after that. Okay, we're talking about SPX numbers. Right now, I believe we're at 6,015. So we're at 6,015, maybe coming up into the 6,023. These are the numbers that are alive. The gap between ES and SPX is now 55 points. Y'all remember on Friday, this gap was 4 points because what happens is every quarter, the nomenclature between ES and SP, the ES nomenclature changes. So it changes and then the gap gets wide because SPX nomenclature don't change. So it kind of stays the same and the ES changes, right? So the gap widens and then over time it gets smaller between those two. And then when it's getting ready to change the nomenclature again, the gap widens again. So if you look on Thinkorswim or you look on TradingView, whichever platform you use for the ES, you'll see that it changes every quarter. So it's 55 points now. So when you look at Adam's numbers, if you're doing what I do and you look at Adam's numbers to help you trade SPX, there's a 55 points. You look at his numbers, subtract 55 points, that'll give you SPX numbers. Okay, that's how that works. If you're going to continue to use his numbers, throughout the day, his numbers from Twitter or X, wherever you want to call it, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, he's Adam Mancini 4. Subtract 55 points for today. If you're trading XSP, and we do, the range on XSP is 597 to 604. That's the outer bounds, potentially the outer bounds for XSP. So if you're trying to trade iron condors or whatever, the low should be around 597 if it goes as low as that, and the high should be around 604 if it goes as high as that. Alrighty. Let me switch back to the earnings. I got that screen to act right now, so I will go back over there. Back to you, Jack. Okay. The earnings whispers. Earnings this morning were Powerfleet and Renew Power. And then today, after market closes, we'll have Digital Turbine, Lennar, Pet Meds, High Tide, and RF Industries. Tomorrow morning, before market opens, we'll have Jabil, 10, Ant Alpha. I keep wanting to say Ant Alpha, which that's not it. It's Ant Alpha, Vince, and then Wiley. Tomorrow, after market close, we'll have Beyond Air, Lazy Boy, and Vista Gen. Nothing really to anticipate it this week, except maybe CarMax and Darden, Kroger on Friday, maybe some of these on Friday. Of course, Thursday, there's nothing because the market's closed. Smith & Wesson is Wednesday after market closes as well. That's the ones that are coming up for this week. All right, let's go on back to where we were. Where's my thing? Oh, there we go. Where's my mouse? Don't forget, if you're hanging out with me, to go ahead and like and subscribe. Hey, Yusuf, like and subscribe, right? Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Let the platforms know that you like it here. We like it here. We want to hang out with our Lisa and the Educator to Trader people. Let the platforms know that you like it here. All right. Let's look at how did last week go. We were talking about this last night. If you were on with us last night on the what's to anticipate in the week, what's coming in this week, but this is for this morning, right? This is for this morning. Last week, 88% win rate. We ended up with 88% win, 88% win rate. Oh my goodness, my tongue doesn't want to work this morning. This is weird, right? Doesn't want to work this morning. We traded a bunch of these. I traded a bunch of these. I say we, it's I. My membership now only trades SPX and XSP together, but I still trade these individual stocks because I like trading these, but I trade them in PeakBot. I trade these individual trades using my PeakBot automated trading, right? I pick the stocks I like. I tell PeakBot, these are the ones I'm trading. I want to trade, not that I'm trading. These are the ones I want to trade. I go to my platform, my PeakBot platform, and say, these are the ones I want to trade. And PeakBot does the entering, automated trading, hands-free for me. Last week, I traded, let me get my paper. I traded Amazon, McDonald's, Home Depot, Google, Procter & Gamble, IWM, Uber, and General Motors. I traded, that's all of them from last week. I traded all those last week. I selected those in the platform. PeakBot entered them at the right time, collected my money. So the money you collect right away. The trade goes on about it's the week, time passing. It's very passive. And then when the trade is ready to close, PeakBot closes it. Right? PeakBot closes it. Very passive. I don't have to do nothing except for pick the stock. That's all I do. Put my collateral. I need to connect the platform, which is done. Speaking of which, I want to make sure. I don't know if I've done that. I did that over the weekend. I don't know if I did that this weekend. I'll make sure that I'm still connected. Stay connected. Y'all know anything about that song? Do y'all know that song? Stay connected. Anybody remember that one? It's a gospel song. Stay connected. Okay. Anyway, make sure I connect my platform. Now that I mentioned that, I need to make sure that is ready when the market opens, to make sure that if there's anything that needs to be closed, PeakBot can close it with no issues, right? And then it closes it and goes on about it. But PeakBot determines the trend. I use the trend spread bot. PeakBot determines the trend, puts me in trades that are the proper, on the proper side, collects the money. And it only does what I've told it to do. It don't just go into my platform deciding what it wants to do. No, I pick the stock and it opens up the trade and then closes it when it's time. All right. That's the way that goes. Yes. All right. So if that's something that's of interest, last week we had 88% win rate on the list, though. I don't have a list for this week yet. I got to wait till the market opens today and let the PeakBot watch list populate, because there there was a lot of things on the list, but they were all high risk. And I didn't want to put all high risk things on our list, our weekly list. But listen, if you follow me on any of my platforms, I will have a list ready this morning. Y'all know I put a list out every single week in case you want to trade them manually. I've been doing that for years at this point, putting out that list every week for years. If you're interested in PeakBot automated trading, use this link that I just put here, peakbot.com. Use this link. You can get a 50% off discount for using PeakBot automated trading. If you've got a job or a business or something else that you actually do during the week, let PeakBot do the automated trading for you while you continue. Like for me, I'm doing SPX. I'm focused on something else during the week. And then I also will start teaching again next week. I'm going to teach Summer B at college. So I'm going to go back into the classroom for a couple of hours a day. Yes. So because I'm focused on other things, but I still want to be getting my money. I still want to get my money. Right. So because of that, I'm letting PeakBot do some automated trading for me. And I'm not the only one. I know we got professionals in my space and in my community, and y'all still want to utilize your resources to make money. Maybe you decide, I still want to trade Amazon every single week. I still want to trade IWM. I still want to trade Google every week. I still want to trade this, and this. Okay, let the automated bot trade it for you. You don't have to miss out on it just because you don't have time. All right, let the automated bot do it for you. I work with them. This is me giving you, I'm not talking about them just because it's something they pay me to do, because they don't pay me to do it. I'm an influencer for them, but I use this product. All right. It's not like I'm saying they sent me, I'm going to give you money to do videos. No, they don't pay me money to do videos. I do get a portion when you sign up for your subscriptions, but I don't get paid to do videos from PeakBot. I use PeakBot because they check for the sellers and I want the automated trading for me. I use the service. All right. I asked this question yesterday. Who was trading their heart and not their chart last week? I was all up. I don't know. I fell off a greed cliff, I think, last week, Friday. I'm looking back at it. I had to reassess my own emotions. I don't know where I went Friday, but either way, I still came out profitable, just not as profitable as I needed to go. But we got some mugs. Trade the chart, not your heart, not your emotions. I probably should put that. That didn't match. That didn't rhyme though. Trade the chart, not your emotions. That wasn't good rhyming, and I was trying to be a poet. Trade the chart, not your heart, not your greed, not your FOMO, not your fear. Because sometimes we'll trade our fear. We won't trade our chart because the chart will say go, and your fear will say no. I did it that time too. Yeah, do that. Okay. If you get you a mug that will help remind you that you need to trade the chart that's in front of you. All righty. I was talking about the membership, and here it is. We trade SPX and XSP every single day. There are alerts. There's supportive community. We do trade live via Zoom a couple days a week. Generally, we get onto a Zoom call and trade together. Sunday evening charting sessions and training. That's where we hang out together. First Saturday coaching call. One-on-one session per quarter. You get those. It's really a fun time. The group is a tremendous group that has been curated, a very supportive community. It's a lot of fun. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the one who's curated it. I'm saying that because it really is. Okay. I want to go back to the chart before I get too deep into this. So let me swing back. To that. I got to remove this before I go and add that. Okay, let's go look at the charts before I go too far away. See what's going to happen today. Okay, this was SPX 500. Again, currently at 6,014. Still kind of hovering in this space, huh? Well, let's go look at SPY. What is SPY doing? Oh, look, got a gap up because we closed over here. We closed at 596, currently at 600. Close at 596, currently at 600. Gonna be a gap up open. Anybody trading that gap fill strategy I mentioned last week or week before last? I traded a couple times. It's still giving, as they say. It's still giving. It is. So at this point, SPY closed here. I'm put my little SPY closed right here, and it's currently right here. All of this is going to be a gap. we still got about 20 minutes before the market opens. So this information could definitely change, but that's going to be a gap at this point. We're in a gap up open. All the moving averages are moving in this direction. We are now above the 200 on the 15-minute chart. The 200 is the black one. We're now above all the moving averages. So it could definitely be a gap up open. What it's going to do after it gaps up? To change the chart. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There we go. Let's change the chart. Okay, this is SPY on the daily chart, right? This was Monday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Definitely a seller's formation, leg in, base, leg out. Wow. Call it whatever. There's names, all kind of names for the different things that you can call buy zone, sell zone, reversals. Let me turn on my strats numbers because I like to see my strat numbers. Y'all, you got any stratters in the community? We have any stratters in the community? Yes. Okay, so anyway, that's what we had going on last week in SPY. Ran on up, hit a seller area or resistance spot, put a line up here, hit some resistance at 604, turned back hard, jumped down, left a gap, but that gap was filled. That same on Friday's price action. Friday's price action was banana. Okay, dropped here, hit the low, ran back up, dropped back. A lot of movement happened on Friday. Oh my. Okay, let's go look at triple Q. Go look at triple Q. What did it do last week? Basically looked very similar to what SPY did last week. Ran up, hit some resistance at 535 and reversed back. Reverse, crisscross. All right, let's go see what it's doing right now though. So we can see what gap is going to be left behind today because it's going to have a gap from Friday as well. And we're going to mark it here. It's not going to be fine-tuned because the market's not open yet, but we closed on Friday around 526.93 and we're currently at 531, about 5 points. That is going to be a gap up open potentially, unless something happens in the next 18 minutes, which it could, because all things can happen. Price is currently above all the moving averages, so we are definitely got a gap up. What will it gap and keep going? We'll see. It remains to be seen. All right, that's triple Q. We're 5 points, about 5 points above where we closed, maybe about 4 points above where we closed on Friday. Could potentially leave a gap up open. Have a gap up open. Let's see what IWM has going. IWM closed at 208.90 or very close to that area. It is currently at 210, so about $2 above, a little bit less than $2 above where it closed. Let's mark this gap. Again, not fine-tuned because we still got some time. Price is here. Probably most likely going to have a gap up open on IWM as well, maybe about $2, depending on how price does in the next 15 minutes. All right, that's what's going on with that. Let's go see what it did last week. Actually, IWM left some gap behind. They didn't cover all their gaps like SPY and triple Q did. Went up as high as 215 last week for some resistance. That was again on Wednesday, but there was some gaps left behind on IWM. So from this Wednesday to Thursday, there was a gap left behind here. Small gap in the 213s area. This gap closed, the price closed here. You know, gaps are from where a price closed to the next place open and then pull off the wick. So there is gap. There's a gap here as well in the 211 to 212 area. That's also a gap. All right, close to open, that got filled in there. So there's some gaps above current price in IWM that will need to be filled. Current price in IWM is 210.59, but there's a gap that starts at 211.45 and goes up to 212.80. Then another gap that's above that. So there is some gap action, and there's also a gap below current price that will, well, now that's gonna, if today gaps up, which it looks like it will, there will be some gap action there that will need closing. And markets, just like anything else, nature abhors a vacuum. Those gaps will at some point be filled. Gaps don't automatically fill necessarily. They don't immediately fill, but they do get filled. All right. That's what IWM has going at this point. Okay. Those are the three indices. We can now head on back to talking about, I mentioned the membership. If you want to join in with us over there and trade SPX and XSP with us every day, that's where our focus is. And we're making it do what it do every single day. Us and the members, me and the members, we're pulling in those profits every single day. Every single day we pulled in, we looked at our weekly numbers, and yes, everybody is smiling. Everybody's smiling. Some people smiling bigger than others, but we're definitely nailing it down over there. Come join us. Come and join us. All right. E2T University is opening in August. Just along with the regular universities, E2T University is opening in August. We're starting from what is a stock, what is an option, what is a chart, what is a candle, and we're going all the way to what are the strategies, what are some indicators, how do we sell puts, how do we sell cover calls, how do we sell credit spreads, how do I sell SPX every day, how do I do XSP, how do I make money every day. We're going through all of that in 12 to 14 weeks. We're going to run it. And when we're all done and along the way, we're going to make some money. And when it's all over, you're going to be ready to trade right along with us. All right. E2T University. If you want to look about how do I get in on what y'all doing every day, this is how. We're going to start in August. Start putting your coins together. All right. You're going to start seeing information about it. You're going to start seeing information about what it includes. How do you get on the waiting list? How much it's going to cost you? All the things. All right. Y'all do know I make things very reasonable, especially for what you're going to learn and what you're going to gain. I'm giving you a lot of lead time to get your coins together, so nobody feels like I sprung it on you. But we're starting E2T University in August. It's really going to be, if anybody's been around me, you've seen Options 411 and my boot camps. It's E2, it's Options 411 revamped, and it's all the things in there. Options 411 started with 4 weeks, then it went to 6, then it went to 8, and now this is going to be 12 to 14. So it includes all the things. Every time I do it, I realize there's more things that need to be there, and I want to make sure it's comprehensive, right? So getting your coins together. All right, we're gonna run it. And I want you to be included. So make sure that you are getting yourself ready to join us on that. All right. All righty. So there's that. And I think if you're looking for the free resources, we're getting ready to land the plane. Looking for the free resources, that's at e2t-freebies.com. It's where the free resources are if you want the freebies. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. One-on-one coaching, if you need that. Some people do just want us to guide you. Maybe you don't need the full piece, or maybe you're trying to determine, should I join the membership? Is that the next best step for me? Should I wait for E2T University? I'm doing this. Is this the best thing for me? You need to talk about it. Then sign up for the one-on-one coaching. Everything you're looking for from me can be found at my website, Educator to Trader. Put a 2 in there. Educator2Trader.com. Everything of mine is all in one place. Took me a while to get there. I used to have stuff all over the place. Not anymore. It's easier to have it all in one place. If you're looking for me, you can find me at Educator to Trader. That's where I'm at, in all the places. All righty. Let's do our declaration, so that way we can be ready to open when the market opens, okay? I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses, and my account is growing steadily. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I am a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. All righty. We have covered a lot of territory in the last 45 minutes. Actually, it's been about 35 minutes. Yes, we've covered a lot of territory. We're going to go into this market today and we're going to pull us out some profits. Okay, that's what we're here to do. If you pull out $5, $10, $15, $30, $50, $75, $175, $1,750, whatever it is you pull out, it's going to be profits. Anything more than what you went into the market with is profits. And we do not despise any of it. If you pull out more than what you went in there with, you are profitable. And we don't compare ourselves to what somebody else does. If you take out 100, somebody else take out 1,000, it's because something else went in to pull that out. You know, you look and say, well, they got 1,000. I only got 100. They put more in to pull out that 1,000. That's the way that goes. All right. So please don't compare yourself to the next person, because there's more. We're more, what they say, when to whom much is given, much is required. As somebody talking to me, like, I wanted to get to the profits that you're pulling out. What does it require for that? Well, if I pull a profit of $1,400, that means I leverage most likely $5,000 or $7,000 of collateral for that. Are you willing to put $5,000 of collateral on the line for that kind of profit? And most times the person at that point is like, I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more risk to take out those kind of profits. And if you are, let's run it. I'm here to help you run it. If you're at the stage where you're comfortable with, you take out 100 and you're ready to do more, let's do more. But sometimes we're not ready for the risk level that takes us to the next place. And we're going to grow to that. It's a process. All of this is a process. It's a whole growth mentality. I'm going to tell you, because your girl wasn't there for a long time. I was the one contract queen. I'm doing one contract, taking my $25, my $50, and I'm cool with that. And my mentor was like, okay, AP, it's time to go up. It's time to go up. It took me a long time to say, I'm staying right here, not going up. He like, well, we're ready for more profits. We can't get there without more risk. I wasn't ready. I had to get my own confidence up. I know how it goes. I've been there. TJ, I'm leaving here with something. Yes, we're leaving here with something. And whatever you leave here with is profits. No matter how big or small. We do not despise small beginnings. Absolutely not. All righty. So we're going to do 3 things today. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money. And we're going to have a great green day. All right. I will see you all in the market. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.